Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cards and Coffee. Today it is Wednesday at noon, and we get together here every Wednesday at noon, most Wednesdays at noon, to make a quick and easy card over our lunch hour. So these are cards that take 15 or 20 minutes maximum to put together and create some stunning effects in a short period of time. And so that's what we're going to do today as well. So again, if you're new here, thank you for joining us. You have found Sarah Lynn Duque with Sarah Lynn Stamps, and you'll find me here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Sarah Lynn Stamps. So you can look me up there. As always, I appreciate that you're here with me. I love stamping with you, and I am very, very thankful that you take the time to spend a few moments with me on Wednesdays or whichever day. If you're watching the replay, just hit hashtag replay in the comments, and thank you so much for watching as well. A couple things before we get started. I want to remind you of the upcoming card buffet on July the 17th. So this is happening in Medicine Hat, Alberta. This is an in-person event, my very first in-person event because of COVID. So now we finally have some restrictions being lifted in July, and we're able to get together in some forums. And that is going to include a card buffet on July the 17th. So if you're interested, email me to reserve your spot. There is limited seating for this. The cost is $3 a card. You can come and make as few or as many cards as you like. There will be 8 different designs to choose from with full instructions. And of course, with me there to give you a hand. So consider it. Email me if you're interested in joining in the card buffet. I also just want to mention as I get going here, today is the last day to take advantage of the last chance discount. So our previous mini catalog is retiring today. Today is the last day. So this is what that one looked like. This one here, the January to June, it retires today. So there's some amazing savings on items in this catalog, but today is the last day to secure those. So if you are interested in saving big today, make sure you head over to www.sarahlynstamps.stampinup.net and shop till your heart drops. So anyways, there is that. Today, let's stamp. All right, so I'm going to be stamping today with the Encircled in Friendship bundle. And so the bundle comes with this stamp set, which is a lot of really pretty scripted sentiments. And actually, I love this one the most. Just a note to let you know that someone thought of you today. Like, what a general sentiment to send someone a card that you're thinking about, that you care about, just for really no reason at all. I love that so much. I think that we could do so much more with sharing and spreading joy with simple cards, paper crafting, and sharing it with the people that we love. Now, this is the die set that comes in the bundle, and there's actually 2 different pages of dies on here, and they're so elegant and intricate. They're just beautiful. But you get all of these different dies here. So there's 5 different intricate dies, actually 6, sorry, I forgot about this one, that cut out all these different shapes and layers of really graceful, elegant styles. I really love this set. If you remember, I actually made a card not too long ago. I don't have it here. It was some flowers that I used these elegant dies, cut out the round part of the flower, and then I made a little face for them. It was just so cute and so adorable. I just really am enjoying this set. So today I want to share this with you. We are going to make a monochromatic card, basically black and white, is what we're going to do today. And you're going to see how this comes together so easily and so quickly. So what I have here is a card base. This is thick whisper white or basic white cardstock, and so it measures 8.5 by 5.5. And to make our card base, we're going to just fold this in half, give it a nice little crisp here, and then finish that up with our bone folder. Okay, and I'm going to set that aside for a moment. Additionally, I have another piece of basic white cardstock. This is just the regular weight, and this one measures 3.25 by 4.5. Okay, so we're going to use that. And then, like I said, I have cut out one of these gorgeous little intricate dies from the Encircled in Friendship bundle. Isn't that just pretty? Yeah, so sweet. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on there once we get going. But let me show you how easily this comes together. I have pulled out of that set the flowers. So there's various flowers in here, and these make some really gorgeous coloring cards. You can color them with your blends, your watercolors, watercolor pencils, your markers, whatever you want. But today we are going to leave our card black and white. So what I'm going to do is just randomly stamp this across the back of my paper, making sort of just random pattern. And I want some going off the edge. Well, actually, they're all going off the edge just because of the size of my paper. Just to give it, so it doesn't look like we're sort of creating a frame around our images. So I think that's all that I can fit on there. So you want to make sure, again, that you have a nice scrap pad underneath because you are going to be stamping off the edges. And you don't want to get your ink all over your table because sometimes it likes to stay there. So I'm going to just give this a little quick clean here on my chamois. And you'll notice that your chamois is going to stain, but it does not transfer over to your ink pads. It's just the nature of the beast. So don't worry about that if you see that. And I'm also, while we're stamping, I'm going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment on here. And like I said, I love this one so much that says, someone thought of you today. And there we go. I knew that I had already put this one onto the sticker. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp this onto this piece here. So again, I'm just going to use black. And I don't have to worry about this too much because if it gets a little crooked, I can just turn my, I just can't quite see what I'm doing with the camera here. I can turn it, so if it was a little crooked, I could just turn it this way or that way. So mine's not exactly in the center, but you know what? I'm going to just go with it anyways. We're just going to leave it like so for now. It will work a lot better when you can get your head right in there over top of your piece of paper and see what you're doing. It's one of the challenges. One of the challenges of stamping on camera. So, all right. Okay, so what we're going to do to really make this pop here is you wouldn't have to do anything. You could absolutely just leave this as is, mount this on your card, and then we're going to put this on top with a few details. And just look how simple and elegant that is. I think that this would make a great sympathy card, a great wedding card, or in this case, just a we're thinking of you card. There's so many different applications for really basic, elegant, simple cards. And I think this just meets all of those. But in order to kind of make it pop just a little bit, I'm going to take my light gray granite Stampin' Blend. You could also use your pool party Stampin' Blend. You could use your marker, a pencil crayon, whatever you have. The reason I love the blends is because as you color, they kind of settle into the paper. So if I don't get exact, it's okay because it kind of just melts out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually creating sort of a negative space by coloring around the outside of my stamped image rather than the inside. So normally we would be coloring our flowers with all sorts of beautiful colors on the inside. Today I want to create a negative space and keep it really, really simple. So I'm not really actually being that particular because like I said, the ink is going to kind of spread out into the paper as it sits. So, and I just want sort of a light kind of background to make my image pop. So you can see as we do this, the image just really kind of starts to stand out in the paper a little bit more. So it's creating sort of that shadow behind. You see that? So we're going to just go ahead and do that for all of the different stamped images here. And it doesn't take very long. However, I did go ahead and color one ahead of time so that I didn't have to keep you all here watching me color. So again, all we're doing here is just going around the images really kind of generally, not too specifically. We don't have to be that precise. And I'm using the bullet tip here of the marker. It has a bullet tip and a brush tip. I actually really like this gray granite because it's sort of a warm kind of beigey gray. It's not quite as stark as some of the other grays or blacks might be. So anyways, you get the idea. That's what I'm going to do for all of these different flowered images here. I'm just going to color around it with the Stampin' Blend and create sort of that shadow effect. And when I'm done, it's going to look like this. All right. So you could, again, you could color in all the negative space. That would look absolutely lovely. Or you could color in your flowers if you wanted to add some color to this card. I am going to keep this card very monochromatic today, and we are going to just put that on there. So now do you see the difference of how that looks compared to what we had before with just the black stamped images? It does make a difference. All right, so before we start putting this together, the only thing I'm going to add today, and you are not going to believe it, is a little bit of ribbon. I know I am all about the bling usually, and adding all sorts of bling. Now the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to just take a little piece of tear and tape. I've been using a lot of this tear and tape lately. I'm starting to really enjoy it. It gives a nice firm hold for all those little corners that like to turn up. However, there we go. Again, when you can't see what you're doing. All right, so what I like to do is I'm just going to lay this across, and I want to kind of create a looped effect. So this just allows me, having that tape on there, to just create my loop how I want before I adhere it to my card. Okay, so let's just cut that off. And so we basically have a bow, but it's behind our sentiment here. And all we've done is adhere it with tape. So we don't have to worry about tying anything. It's really effortless and comes together quickly. Now, because it does have this ribbon behind it, we need to put this on our card with dimensionals to give a little bit of space between the paper for the ribbon to lie nice and have a nice sort of flat look on our card. Otherwise, it's going to start to get a little bit bulky and look a little strange. So let's take this. I am going to adhere this just to the top of my colored section like so, just like that, with my ribbon sticking out. And then I'm going to adhere this as well with dimensionals just to add a little bit of interest. Since we are kind of monochromatic, some of the ways that we add interest is by creating layers or by adding texture. So our ribbon is adding texture, as is the shadow that we colored on there actually creates quite a look of texture and lift on our card when it's just coloring. So also the dimensionals are lifting up our paper, so we've got that extra step, that extra interest on our card. And of course, this die cut all on its own is just glamorous. So then we can create a really simple card in minutes. Like, I think this is the fastest card that we have ever made here on Cards and Coffee. Hi, Andrea. Thanks for coming on. But isn't that just lovely? So just a really monochromatic, simple card that we can send to anyone just to let them know that we're thinking of them. So if you have any questions or thought, I put a link in the comments for you to this bundle if you wanted to take a peek at it. Remember, today is the last day to take advantage of the last chance sale items. And leave me any comments, any questions, and I will be posting very shortly for you. I just completed actually a video on the alcohol and Stampin' Blends technique, and I have some beautiful cards to share with you. So watch for that coming in the next couple days. And happy stamping. Love you guys. Have a great Wednesday. Bye-bye.